So you really lived the lifestyle. You got married to Loon on Halloween. What are
Yeah.
some favorite other spooky things that you've done?
No, we just for a while she used to tell me, well, to make a character work, you got to live that character, leave that character, that lifestyle. So she talked me into it for the longest while. Got the fangs, and then going out at night, just hanging out and like just like clubs known to have like people that believe in vampires and stuff. So it's pretty bizarre stuff. I've seen some pretty crazy women, and it was cool. Don't get me wrong, I was young and experimental, but like, I don't think I could go that route anymore at 45 years old. I think that might kill me.
So what's your favorite part about doing independent shows these days? Because I know we're all looking forward to seeing you at Heroes and Legends in Fort Wayne on September 13th. What's your favorite part about doing those? Is it meeting with the fans or seeing old friends?
Well, it's all of the above. I mean, I've traveled since I was 17 wrestling. I've been blessed to do this for a job pretty much full time since I was 18, somewhere all the time. And so I love traveling, and I love seeing the guys. It's like having a class reunion or something every week with a different group of guys, because wrestling's such a small network of people. It's huge in one sense, but it's also small in the other way. So, but you see a different group of people each show. So that's awesome. And the fans are always great. And I appreciate the fans, because without the fans, you would be nothing. There's nothing. If they don't like you, they don't cheer you, they don't show up. Who are you? And they make it awesome and show support and so it's always cool too. So it's just the overall package. I just love it. I love coming in at night, not seeing where I am, and when I wake up in the morning, open the hotel door, I could be out in cow fields, or I could be in the city, or I could be anywhere, and then just the different arenas, different locker rooms, just a different vibe, different energies. I just love the whole package. I hear these guys complain about this and about that, but man, as long as you're still out here doing what you love, you're not digging a ditch, because that's what most of us are qualified for. I mean, the wrestlers are not known to be like the shiniest apples in the barrel, Yeah, I mean, we should be blessed that we still have our health and we're able to go out and entertain people and enjoy the fans and enjoy it, embrace it. Go out there and have a blast and make the best of it, earn a little bit of money, pay what bills you got, and move on.
So how many days a year are you out on the road?
I'm out every weekend. I'm blessed. Like I have a memorable character and stuff that's been real good to me. So, I usually work Friday, Saturday, Sundays, unless I go out, over in Europe or something and work over in Europe. Sometimes I'll go for 3-month runs at a time over there, in the winter, and then early in the fall and then in the winter. But I haven't done that too much lately because I'm tied up with Territory League and Knox Pro out here in California. I have a wrestling school, so I train Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday mornings if I'm home on Friday to train the school, and then I'm out every weekend. It's rare for me to have a weekend off. It's really rare. So when I do get those weekends, I really wish I was still working, but I tend to enjoy them too at the same time.
What's your favorite part about training?
Training, I get to go wrestle. Because as Gangrel, in that character, you don't see a whole lot of wrestling. You'll see some suplexes, an elbow here and there, a lot of character. With the kids at the school, I actually can get to get in there and wrestle, the art of wrestling, the craft of it, get in there, chain wrestle, and teach them and see their excitement and their enthusiasm as they embark on this journey, and it's awesome. I steal their energy. I think that's what keeps me young. I'm like a vampire, energy vampire. I'm in there stealing their energy and all their enthusiasm, and it's what's carrying me on too.
Gangrel, I wanted to kind of go back to that wedding real quick, because obviously WWE made a big deal about it. You weren't even in the promotion at the time. How did that work out?
It was kind of weird at the time. They told her that she should have told them that she was getting married, and they did more coverage of it, but they just last minute, I think it was like a Saturday or Sunday morning show, Mania or something with Todd Pettengill, and they just threw the little cheesy flyer invitations that we had made up and stuff like that, threw it on there. And I mean, I think that's all they mentioned at that one show. I don't remember mentioning too much anymore. And then shortly after that, I'm pretty sure they put it with Bam Bam Bigelow as the main squeeze. So I don't know, pro wrestling.
Do you feel like, did it kind of get your foot in the door with them on a more permanent basis from doing that, or not really?
No, I think a lot of people say, well, Luna, I think it worked against me, to be honest. She was always getting in trouble. She was predictably unpredictable, and she's always beating up somebody or something. And then, I don't know how, they were probably wondering how we, as a couple, could survive on the road with the Yankees she pulled on the road and stuff like that. So I think a lot of times I had a lot of tryouts in the beginning, and they were ribs. I'm positive they were just ribs. They were, I think it was harder for me to get in there, and then I just really had to just a lot of it was my weight too, I think. Once I got a good body, then they did take a lot more notice of things. But they used me to do jobs and stuff like that. So it was a confusing time. I couldn't say 100% yeah, it hurt me, or 100% it helped me. I just kept my nose down and just kept the blinders up and just worked hard and kept minding my own business and prayed it all worked out.
You brought up a pretty interesting point. You're talking about, getting back into, training wrestlers and actually getting to wrestle again. I think about over the years all the wrestlers who get labeled with the gimmick wrestler, I guess, and it can be an albatross, it can be a blessing. Obviously, right. You've had some pretty good success being Gangrel and being the vampire. But how difficult is it when that time's up and that you've got to go work somewhere else? You can't be Dave Heath anymore. They want you to be Gangrel forever, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I mean, WWE, they hired me back the first time they hired me back after they let me go as Gangrel after I broke my neck. They let me go. But they had me come in and do a dark match. They had me just wear trunks and go out there. I can't even remember to who it was. I got beaten like less than a minute or something. But the people in the arena, they just started chanting Gangrel, Gangrel, and they hired me, and then they never used me. They let me go like 6 months later on that one, and then they hired me back for the ECW one. But it was like they just don't forget it. I don't know that I could ever change it and have a fresh start unless I was under a mask or something. But then you're starting all over working. You're gonna work for free, and you're gonna climb the ropes. So you just gotta have to. I embrace it, and I'm thankful that they remember it, and the fans do support it, and they remember it, and I think the WWE Network has helped a lot too, because I got a lot of younger fans now.
Right.
Before it was like the 30 to 40-year-old, 50-year-old moms come out at this stuff now or whatever, but now it's now I got like 13-year-old kids coming up. Oh, you're a cool vampire, like so. Twilight helps to push too, but
it didn't hurt that you had one of the coolest entrance musics in history too, right?
It was awesome. That entrance was a blast. It gave me chills every time. Every time, I'm coming down the ramp, I used to get in trouble. They told me, you're supposed to be sinister. You're supposed to look mean. You can't be smiling. I said, I can't help it. Because every time I got halfway through that fire, I just would get such a rush. And then with the flames and then the music, and then I'd hear the people. And by the time I was coming down the ramp, I was in a full-on smile, which is of happiness.
But you know what? It worked, though, man. I love that you smiled, man. I thought it made the character.
Well, they gave up about after a month and a half of it, and they said, fine, just be a devious smile. I couldn't help it. I was just like so stoked. I said, this is how I always pictured this character. Not so much the puffy shirt, but yeah, I pictured it, just being a kick-ass vampire. So I was really happy, and I was really grateful. It was a short run, but it was a memorable one for me, and a lot of blessings have come out of it. And I'm just grateful to still be able to wrestle every weekend. Go out there and spray the blood and do the things I do.
Tell us a little bit. I know we were talking about gimmicks and how they can hurt you sometimes. Your instances, I guess, in the middle of the 2000s decade when, was it White Wolf, I believe, had the trademark to Gangrel's name, and WWE let it expire or whatever. How difficult was that for you to work when you were going through those kind of issues?
Well, it was difficult for me to work. What was difficult for me was to get hired back because they weren't going to lease the name again. Right. I was under contract for the 5 years, and that name got leased for 5 years. What happened is I gave them a bunch of research on the vampire stuff, and Gangrel is actually like a clan. It's not a person. It was a clan out of a masquerade, Dungeons and Dragons role-playing type of thing for vampires and werewolves and stuff like that. And so when they decided to do it, then said, "Oh, we got to have a name." And I guess I was in flight traveling or something, and they wanted the name Gangrel. He said, "I want that name," but I guess the legal department didn't research it. So when it aired, they got slapped about, lawsuit and everything. So Vince ended up paying millions and leasing it and having to advertise it and all that. So, when that lease went up, he didn't renew it, and I got let go. They hired me back a couple of times, and like I said, I explained those things to you. And so nothing, but then they brought me back on a Raw anniversary, 15th anniversary show. And it was like a big rumble or something, a battle royal of some sorts. And when they used me, like when the show went off air, I guess the company White Wolf sold to another company. They called them and tried to sue Vince for $5 million for that appearance. Like they wanted $5 million, and Vince was like, "I'm not paying it. I'm not going to pay that."
You need a ride?
No, I'm good. Vince, I'm sorry. Vince says, "I'm not paying it," so they went to court. Well, when it all went to court, the judge pretty much said that the Gangrel character is the guy that's been doing it the last 10 years, nothing to do with WWE or this other company, and he dismissed the case. So I'm technically Gangrel now. I have the character Gangrel, the working character Gangrel. But on that note, where it hurts you is WWE they don't use me for Legends Falls because Jack is, when they had the thing, they tried to call, and I think Mattel is contacting me now wanting to do stuff, but they said WWE is shut them down because of the thing. So that hurts me there. I don't get in on any of that extra stuff there, and but it's cool, man. I'm good with that. I mean, I still get to go out and wrestle and have a great time. So I'm still singing and banging, man, and doing my thing.
Well, a real cool thing you were talking about. You obviously keep up with the business and what's going on with WWE. You talked about how they like to chant names when they know who you are. I was really worried about Bray Wyatt coming off at NXT when he was getting those Husky Howard chants.
Oh, yeah. But he got over, right? And they just forget about it then, that people love characters. And they were hurting. They were lacking at that time. There wasn't many characters. And he was a character, different shape, different size. It wasn't necessarily the bodybuilder, cookie cutter type wearing trunks that came out. So it was something different, and they gave people something to like besides the bodybuilding guys, like bodybuilders. You gave them, hey, this guy's cool, hey, they could relate with something different. And it's like the Attitude Era where there's all these characters. So I think that they just overlook stuff there. And then I'm real proud. We got our student, one of our first students out of the Knox Pro School there, Rusev, so he's doing good. And so we were happy for him, and he's got his character doing his deal, so that's awesome.
Let's kick it over to Zane again. I know he had another question for you, bud.
Well, you just mentioned that Rusev was one of your students. That's awesome.
Cool.
He's in our first graduating class. Yeah, he's awesome. That kid, he moved from Bulgaria. He worked 3 jobs. He slept in the parking lot so he wouldn't miss one class. He came over, chased the American dream. Now he's an American heel.
Now he's trying to crush the American dream.
Yeah, break you, whatever he must break you. Yeah. But he was you couldn't ask for a better student. I mean, he lived, breathed wrestling. It's all he woke up thinking about it. He went to bed thinking about it. He didn't miss one training, and he just worked hard, 100% every time. And I'm really proud and happy for him, and I'm glad he's getting the run he deserves.
Now, also appearing at Heroes and Legends 4 in Fort Wayne, Indiana on September 13th, going to be 2 members of the Legends House, Hillbilly Jim and Mean Gene Okerlund. You are one of the most iconic figures from the Attitude Era. People see you and they know who you are and they remember you from that era. If you could live in a Legends House type situation with a couple other guys from that era, who would you want to be on that show?
Oh my goodness, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn.
Why Dog and Billy Gunn? Just because they're fun, or?
Well, in the Attitude Era, it's just that, yeah, they're good guys, and they got a lot of battles similar to my battle. So they have a lot of great stories, and they create a lot of good stories. You know, I don't know how they are now. I haven't been around them. I'm just going by the attitude there now. I mean, I hear they're settled down and everything else, but if they were like from the attitude there, that same personalities, you know, then it, it would just never be nonstop. You wouldn't be sleeping. You know, I mean, Ray Traylor, if he was alive, he would have been awesome in there. Just to get to see the other side of Ray Traylor and Big Boss Man or stuff like that. I don't know. Kitty Shamrock, I don't want to keep out. Crazy son of a gun. Steve Blackman to be a very interesting guy to live with. Steve Blackman.
Is Steve Blackman really weird in real life?
He's different. I mean, you don't know if he's like some kind of assassin ninja or what, you know. I don't know. Like straight out of a video game or some cyborg or something, you know. He's emotional sometimes, you know. He's got this random twitch. You just don't know if he's going to go off and kill you. But he's actually one of the nicest guys you can meet. And I really enjoyed all my matches with him. I had a run with him for a while in the hardcore and just matches on house shows. And I had some of my best matches, I thought, with Steve Blackman, where other guys, they struggle with the style out, but I don't know. I just clicked with him, and but I even though I think he likes me, I'm not sure. There's been a couple times where he's had the edge of his hand on my throat when I was driving, and said he's going to kill me if I kill this, which didn't make any sense. If I kill this, you can't kill me. But he's always going off in some bizarre way. But I think he'd be a really interesting person to get to know in a confined environment like that.
Well, they've actually floated out the idea to do a bounty hunter show with him, because I think he's a licensed bounty hunter. So they talked about that. So that would be really interesting. Maybe you could be a guest on that show occasionally.
Well, that makes sense for him. You know, he's up there like there's an Amble PA, and he's waiting for the whole World War to happen and stuff like that. That guy's well prepared, so it makes a lot of sense that he's a bounty hunter, and that would be a pretty cool show. I'd watch that show if he's a bounty hunter, and it would be awesome to be a part of it.
Of course, Bam Bam was a bounty hunter too, wasn't he, before he started wrestling?
Bounty hunter, drug runner. I don't know what the stories were. I heard all kinds of stories. You never know. Wrestlers are all men of mystery from back then, you know. Now they're not such a mystery, which I think hurts the business. It was really great, and I think wrestling was really good when everybody was a mystery. When the heel was a heel, if you saw a heel out in the bar, you didn't go up and say, "Hey, sign my 8x10." You were scared to approach that heel because you didn't know nothing about him. All you saw was he was a bad son of a gun, and you didn't want to mess with him. You know, he was just all that mystery's gone, and I really miss that mystery. So.
If you could start your own promotion now, I guess, in the big time, let's act like you're Jeff Jarrett, Gangrel, and you're starting up that global force wrestling. What kind of talent would you be looking for? What kind of angles would you be looking to do in order to compete with Vince McMahon and what he's doing with the T?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I go with the old, like what's new is the only thing that's been forgotten. And I mean, I think Bischoff. He was really onto something with the whole NWO thing and the surprise and stuff. Like Bischoff wouldn't always tell people what the angle was. He learned about it as you watched it yourself. So the element of surprise was there, and the mysteries, and so I probably would go back with that, booking it around that type of time in WCW there, and then mix in with characters and stuff like that there.
We're just going to give you a chance to tell everybody where they can contact you, and let everybody know about your training promotion.
Okay, then. Well, you can always find me on Facebook as Gangrel David Heath, or on Instagram as Gangrel13, I believe. I'm not even sure. Gangrel David Heath. And Twitter's Gangrel13. Instagram's Gangrel David Heath. Facebook Gangrel David Heath. We have the Knox Pro Academy out here in Sun Valley, California, which is in the greater Los Angeles area. Me, Rikishi, and his cousin, Black Pearl. So we're out there, we're training. We have a company called Territory League. Territory League Wrestling, which is a different concept in pro wrestling. It's teams from cities, which you can check out if you just look up Territory League to see it, or if you we're doing a promotion now with I Am Wrestling, where the fans, we believe, are wrestling. The wrestlers are wrestlers. Anybody involved with wrestling or supports wrestling, it falls under the hashtag I Am Wrestling, and we're doing the I Am Wrestling movement. So if you look up Knox Pro, I Am Wrestling, or Territory League, I Am Wrestling, you find all the stuff we're going on there. Excited. We're really excited about that, and hoping to give a fresh taste of pro wrestling with teams and different concept of wrestling, and liven stuff up. And that's pretty much what's going on in my life now. It's consumed with all that, and getting out there on the road on the weekends, and just doing some banging and banging, guys. And I'm looking forward to coming out September out to Indiana. I think it's September 13th, I believe, and we're really looking forward to coming out there and seeing our fans and catching up with some buddies, and then hopefully having a great match for everybody and having a good time.
The Undisputed Wrestling Show will see you in Fort Wayne in a couple of weeks, Gangrel. Have a good evening, and thanks for joining us, buddy.
Hey, thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it. You guys have a banging night, man.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Dude, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no worries.